Good evening, Facebook. It is time for Song of the Day. I had just a lovely evening with 20 plus of my closest friends, and we all stayed 6 feet apart and just had a great night. Watched 3 different movies and ate popcorn and s'mores and my hot apple cider, and then tomorrow we get to do it again with Parker and all of his friends for his birthday. So tonight's song is Julie Reber Bergen's request, and she requested the Monster Mash. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from a slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash. It caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on the chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five. They played the mash. They played the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. They played the mash. It caught on in a flash. They played the mash. They played the monster mash. Out from the coffin, Drac's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to the Transylvania twist? It's now the mash. It's now the monster mash, the monster mash. And it's a graveyard smash. It's now the mash. It caught on in a flash. It's now the mash. It's now the monster mash." Now everything's cool, Drac's a part of the band, and my monster mash, it's the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. Then you can mash. Then you can monster mash, the monster mash, and do my graveyard smash. Then you can mash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can mash. Then you can monster mash. Wow. Mash good. Easy, Igor, you're impetuous young boy. Mash good. Grr. That was a fun one. All right. Good night, Facebook.